How did your first child behave after you'd had your second baby? My 5-year-old daughter Mia started stealing food from our kitchen every single day after we brought home baby Lucas, and what I discovered still gives me chills. At first, I thought she was just acting out. Kids do weird things when they're jealous of a new sibling, right? But then I found her hiding crackers, juice boxes, and baby formula under her bed. Not just a few snacks. We're talking grocery bags full of food stashed everywhere. Under her mattress, in her toy chest, even taped inside her dollhouse. Mia, honey, why are you taking all this food to your room? She looked at me with those big, innocent eyes and said, "It's not for me, mommy. It's for the other baby." I was confused. What other baby, sweetie? You mean Lucas? No, the one in the walls. He's really hungry and he cries at night when everyone's sleeping, but only I can hear him because I'm a good big sister. He told me his name is Danny. My husband and I figured it was just an imaginary friend phase. New babies are overwhelming for kids, and sometimes they create fantasy scenarios to cope. But then our grocery bill literally doubled. Mia was somehow getting into everything, even stuff we kept locked up or on impossibly high shelves. I started finding empty formula cans, missing baby food jars, and she'd even figured out how to open the child-proof locks on our cabinets. The really creepy part was how methodical she was about it. She'd take specific amounts of food at specific times, like she was following some kind of feeding schedule, and she always knew exactly what to take. Formula, baby cereal, soft crackers, juice boxes, nothing random. The breaking point came when I caught her at 6 a.m. dragging a kitchen chair to reach the top cabinet where we kept the emergency formula stash. She was only 5 years old, but she was mixing bottles perfectly, measuring the powder and testing the temperature like she'd done it 100 times before. "Mia, this is serious now. Show me exactly where this other baby is." Without hesitation, she grabbed my hand and led me to her bedroom closet. She pushed aside her hanging clothes and pointed directly at the back wall. "He lives right there, mommy, behind the wall. He gets so scared when it's dark, and his tummy hurts when he's hungry. I have to help him because nobody else knows he's there. Sometimes I hear him crying really loud, but when I ask Daddy, he says he doesn't hear anything." That's when I noticed something that made my blood run cold. The wall was warm to the touch, noticeably warmer than the rest of the room. And when I pressed my ear against it, I could swear I heard a faint sound, like muffled crying or scratching. It was rhythmic, like someone tapping. I called my husband immediately, and we contacted contractors that same day. When they opened up the wall, they found a hidden space between the studs that had been deliberately concealed. Inside was a makeshift nursery, a small crib with decades-old blankets, empty baby bottles, moldy diapers, and children's toys covered in dust. There were also fresh crackers scattered around and an empty juice box that looked recent. The contractors were baffled. This wasn't standard construction. Someone had intentionally built a secret room behind a false wall. We called the previous homeowners, and after some pressing, the elderly woman broke down crying over the phone. She admitted that in 1987, her daughter had suffered from severe postpartum psychosis after losing a baby to SIDS. The daughter had become convinced the baby was still alive and needed to be hidden from dangerous people who wanted to take him away. For months, the daughter would sneak food and supplies into this hidden room, talking to empty air and changing invisible diapers. The family had her committed and sealed up the room after getting her psychiatric help, but they never told anyone about it when they sold the house 15 years later. The crying sound stopped completely after we cleared out the hidden space and had it properly sealed. But even now, 6 months later, Mia still occasionally leaves crackers on her windowsill, just in case Danny comes back and gets hungry. The most unsettling part? We found scratches on the inside of that hidden wall. Small, desperate marks like tiny fingernails had been clawing at the wood. And when we had the house checked for structural issues, they found similar hidden spaces in 2 other rooms that had been sealed up decades ago. Sometimes I wonder what else is hidden in these walls.